Yeah, I think the biggest area of maybe distinction or difference is probably experience. The specific experience I think I have that separates me or makes me a little different is serving in a full-time judicial capacity. I've had the good fortune for the last over 3 years now, so 3 years and a few months, to serve as the presiding magistrate, full-time judicial officer in our Johnson County Juvenile and Family Court. And that's been super valuable to me and helpful. And I think will help make the transition, if I'm lucky enough to be elected to circuit court, a good one. And I think it's important for probably a couple of reasons. The first is just the time to learn how to do the job. I practiced as an attorney for almost 2 decades before Judge Mark Lloyd, who's our current circuit court judge, appointed me to this position. And I can tell you as an attorney, with some frequency, as you're in and out of courtrooms around counties and states, that you're making judgment about the judges that you appear in front of. Were they on time? Were they prepared? Were the facts that they considered correct? Did they apply the law the right way? And it's not always a critical analysis, but oftentimes you'll walk out, as attorneys do, and look at the decision. And many times I can say I was guilty of saying that should have been an easy decision. It should have been made more quickly. And in January of 2015, when I started this full-time job as the presiding magistrate in juvenile court, you realize pretty quickly that it's not as easy sitting up there as it looks to be. And I say that not to suggest that I've mastered it. I haven't. I'm still learning, but I'm better at it than I was 3 years ago. And it is hard. There's a certain amount of decision fatigue that happens when you're new to the job. If you're making 20 or 30 or 40 decisions about whether kids are removed from a home in a day, about whether custody is modified, about whether somebody goes to jail or not, which are weighty and big decisions, I found that there is some growing into that, not just making one decision, but closing the book on the one and moving to the second one and the third and the fourth and the fifth. So I've got some experience in doing that, which I think lends itself hopefully to a smooth transition to circuit court. The other basis upon which I think experience is helpful is for voters that are undecided about whether they should vote for me. I've got a track record, not just of practicing law, but of being a judicial officer. Thousands of people have been in and out of my courtroom over the last over 3 years now. Those are family caseworkers for the Department of Child Services, CASA volunteers, litigants, attorneys. My guess is that many or most of our undecided voters out there know somebody or know somebody that may have been in and out of my courtroom and can ask, does this guy have the chops to do it? Does he show up on time? Is he prepared? Has he read the cases? It's easy for me to say I do all those things and they're important, and they are, but I think my experience is hopefully directly correlated between now and what I hope to be doing, and that people can ask those sorts of questions of people who are hopefully fair-minded and impartial and give a good indication about whether what I've done to date is a good measure of whether I'll be successful in the future. So I think that's a clear distinction between the candidates, and my hope is that the experience means something and makes me a valuable candidate.